everyone, my name is Tosin George. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. This is actually my first video on this channel, so yay to me. In actual honesty, I've been on YouTube for about 2 years. However, I wasn't showing my face, so I was pretty much doing projects. If you go back to my past videos, I was pretty much doing projects around data science and machine learning, and I was sharing my experiences. I think I did projects around Power BI. I did projects around machine learning as well. I think I also did a specific video on how to upload your projects onto GitHub. So those are the kind of videos I did in the past. But now I've decided to flip the script and sort of, be out here, and so you see the face behind the channel. And going forward, I will be sharing content around data science, AI, machine learning, open source, renewable energy as well. So a bit about me, you already know my name. My name is Tosin. I'm based out of Lagos, Nigeria. I've been in the renewable energy space for close to 5 years now. And some of the roles I've taken up have been around project management, operations, a bit of training and education as well. I'm really delighted to be here, as you can already tell. And if this is a type of content that you appreciate, machine learning, data science, open source, renewable energy, especially as it touches Nigeria and Africa, please feel free to, or please consider subscribing, sharing my content and following me on here. I will try as much as possible to be consistent and share my experience and journey as somebody who is interested in these topics. Now, to get into the title of this video, I'm going to be sharing my experience as a WiSER 2024 pioneer. And I know for many of you tuning in, you'll be asking questions like, what is WiSER? Who is WiSER? Actually, WiSER is a program, and it stands for Women in Sustainability, Environment and Renewable Energy. It's actually a 1-year-long program, so it typically starts in January and ends around December. And it's targeted at women in these sectors, so sustainability, environment, and renewable energy. And the purpose of the program is really to provide access to educational workshops, knowledge, as well, global networking opportunities, which I'll talk about much later in the course of this video. And the point and the aim of the program really is to encourage and to build up young women leaders who will lead the transition to a net zero future. So such an amazing program. Actually, WiSER was launched at the 70th UN General Assembly in September 2015, and it is actually the brainchild of Masdar. So Masdar is Abu Dhabi's renewable energy company, and this program is also supported by the Zayed Sustainability Prize. So if you don't know about that prize, it's a very popular prize in the sustainability sectors, and I think climate as well. And so you can do a bit more research out. I might leave some links here. So you might ask, I like the sound of this program. How do I apply? What are the requirements? So to apply to the WiSER program, you must be a woman, first of all, be between the ages of 25 to 35, be either self-employed or employed in sustainability, environment, renewable energy, or even any STEM sector. I think that works. Be able to speak English. Arabic is optional. So because it's based out of Abu Dhabi, you have a lot of Abu Dhabi is an Arabic speaking country, so yeah, that's why. But it's not exactly essential. I don't speak Arabic, not one word of Arabic, and I was a part of the program. So those are the requirements. So now into how I discovered WiSER. How did I even hear about WiSER? So I came across WiSER through a friend on LinkedIn. Shout out to Shalom. Shalom's an amazing woman in this space, doing great things in this space. You should connect with her on LinkedIn. So I came across Shalom's timeline on LinkedIn, and she was going on and on about WiSER this, WiSER that. WiSER gave me my first global speaking platform or engagement and all of that. So that sort of interested me, and I went on to do a bit more research about WiSER. Truth be told, there wasn't much about it online. It felt like, there wasn't a lot of info. And actually, that's why I'm making this content, so that there'll be a lot more info for those who are interested in the program, because it was such a huge impact on my life. And I would love for more people to learn about the program and consider even applying for the program. So back to how I heard about WiSER, through a friend's timeline on LinkedIn, and then I just decided, okay, let me give this a shot, let me apply. I've been on other programs before, that also offered mentorship programs similar to WiSER. So I wasn't really sure what to expect, but then I was like, okay, let's apply, let's see if I get in, and we'll make the most of it. So I did apply, and usually applications are between I think from sometime in September to November 30. So I know that this video is late, but anyway, applications will be opening sometime later in the year. So sometime around November, I think applications will be open. So please go and put this in your calendar. I know for many of you, you will see I'll apply, but then by the time the applications open, you would have forgotten. So go to your Google Calendar, put a reminder there. For me, if I were to remind myself of this type of programs, I would actually leave myself 2 reminders. So go to your Google Calendar now and put a reminder there, so that when the applications open, you'll be reminded and you'll be able to apply. I'll leave the application links as well, although it's now closed, but just so that you remember, right? All right. So that was how I applied to the WiSER program, and by January, I got a congratulatory email. That was January 2024, and that was how I started my journey into the WiSER program. So now, talking about my experience on the WiSER program, first of all, I'd like to say that any program targeted at women in energy, I always appreciate, right? I live in Nigeria, I live in Lagos, and there's so much noise, so much clamor, there's so much all of that, about the fintech space, fintech this, fintech that, financial literacy, financial services, and I feel like I'm beginning to develop a beef with the fintech space, right? That story for another day, but there's so much focus on the fintech space, and sometimes I think that we forget that all of the services are powered by energy, right? And so the energy space also deserves that attention. Well, anyway, I'm just trying to say that any program that it's targeted at this as the group of women in the energy space is something that I'm always looking forward to attending. So that was one of the reasons why I attended the WiSER, or I picked interest in, applying for the WiSER program. So now to my experience in the space. So like I said, the program started in January, and it started with like an opening session, like an introductory session, right? To say, oh, welcome to the program, this and this and that, this is what we're going to be doing. So at this point, I was like, okay, this is just like, okay, cool, it seems cool. I saw a lot of women from the Middle East, Emiratis, some women from Pakistan, or is it Canada? I think there's also some women who lived in, another woman who lived in the US, Jordan. So there were a couple of people, mostly from the Middle East. And I think I was the only African living in Africa. I remember now that there's another African, but she was based in Dubai. I think she was Sudanese, or she's Sudanese, and she's based in Dubai. But I was the only African, who was living in Nigeria at the time. And so so we started with like an introductory session, and mind you, this is a virtual program, so I didn't have to travel. I did this program from where I'm based, Lagos, Nigeria. So the WiSER program is sort of divided into 3 different components. So you have the thought leadership, and this encompasses the WiSER annual forum. So this is like a forum where you have all the WiSER pioneers come together with I think several other organizations connected with WiSER and Mastar. So they come together, and they have such a good time networking and deliberating on current issues affecting women in sustainability, renewable energy, and the environment. So that's the thought leadership part. You also have the part on WiSER white papers. I'm not going to spend so much time on this, but you get to know it if you apply to the program. There's also the WiSER Wisdom series as well, which I was a which I did enjoy. Then you have the second component of the program, which is personal and professional development, which houses the WiSER Pioneers program itself. And then you have the WiSER mentorship program, which I benefited from. And then you have the WiSER networking opportunities. That was a bomb. That was really some of the highlights of the WiSER Pioneers program. You also have the community engagement, which is the WiSER Cares. You have the WiSER newsletter and the WiSER campaigns. So I was opportunity to be a part of all the different components, and I'm going to share my experience like right now. So first, I'm going to start with the workshop. So WiSER kicked off the program with a lot of workshops. So we had almost, I think, about 5 or 6 workshops, right? And so there were workshops on artificial intelligence and agriculture. There were workshops, I think, on energy as well, although not so much, but there was a lot of workshop around that. There were workshops on women at the forefront of the ESG revolution. There were workshops on all kinds of things, particularly workshops that touched renewable energy, climate, and the environment. And these for me were very expository. This for me was very it was something I did at the time, because I've spent about 4 years in this space within Nigeria with not so much exposure, as it were, right? And so getting to the WiSER program, relating and meeting with women from the Middle East was an amazing way to exchange knowledge, was an amazing way to get to just hear what's happening in the other spaces and how it connects to us, and just see the linkages between these two different regions, right? And so that was the workshops was a very integral part of the program, and which I did enjoy. So if you apply to this program, this is what you'll be experiencing. Aside the workshops, there were also a lot of events, a lot of workshops. One workshop that I did attend was the opportunity to attend one workshop in Morocco. It was something on adaptive agriculture, and this was amazing, in the sense that it helped me. Most people go to Marrakesh. The workshop was in Marrakesh. Most people go to Marrakesh for the beach. Is there a beach in Marrakesh? I don't know. Well, most people go to Morocco, for tourism, for vacations and all. And yes, I did experience a bit of that, but it was way more than that. I got the chance to interact with the community, understand the climate issues, understanding how climate, the changes in climate affecting communities, farming communities in Morocco. One great example was the community, I don't remember the name of the location, but I think it was under an organization called CEPA, and CEPA supports small farming communities by helping them learn sustainable practices, especially as Morocco faces severe drought, right? So as it stands now, Morocco is moving away from water-intensive agriculture. So planting of watermelon is now discouraged, and people are looking at farming less water-intensive crops. And so all of those things, my mind was sort of just open to the climate issues in the space, and so that was such a highlight for me. I remember also attending or going to the university, Mohammed VI University Polytechnic, and that was also great times well spent, because I got to learn about how Morocco supports a startup ecosystem, such a huge nexus of the government, technology, innovation, and support. That was great. Then from there, I think we also attended a lot of lectures, and very insightful lectures, especially focused on women. That was a great way, of understanding and learning how women can be active participants in the just energy transition. I remember also being, also seeing agrivoltaics in operation. So this is a combination of solar and farming systems. Or this is the combination of solar and farms. So you have solar on ground-mounted solar panel systems, and then you have plants growing under them. The specific type of plants you can use in agrovoltaics, so you can do a bit more research on that. But that was my first time seeing something like that. I think we also had a chance to visit a lot of the labs there. We also did visit an institute that produced one of the best olive oil out of Morocco. That was really great. I remember, I think that WiSER supports some women with vocational, with some sort of vocations. I think they were learning how to sew, make beautiful embroidery. So I got a chance to to see a fashion show, and that was great. So I'll share videos, and I think I have videos. I'm going to share a video here, or pictures rather, if I have that. So that was a lovely time well spent. One highlight for me out of Morocco was the Water Museum. The Water Museum was special to me, right? I don't know if you've been to Morocco, or if you're in Morocco and you've not visited the Water Museum, please go and visit the Water Museum. The Water Museum was amazing in the sense that I got to understand Morocco's richness and rich relationship with water and how they managed water. They had some brilliant science from years back that I'll never have even attributed to Moroccans. So not that, you think, when you think about Africans sometimes and you look years back, it just always feels like, a lot of the things that we created and we know is erased. And nobody knows all the things that we created or developed. So that Water Museum was such a rich expository for me, and understanding how Moroccans had, dealt with water. And even though they have water problems today, they're actively doing a lot of work to ensure that the water is conserved, is properly used, and is efficiently utilized as well. And I think we also visited, we made the visit to the palm groves. So that was also an interesting visit for me as well. I'm going to leave pictures here so you guys can see my experience on the Moroccan event. So outside the workshops, outside the events, I also know that some people got the chance to go to Japan, and I thought that was also a lovely workshop. It was on carbon neutrality. So if that's your thing, please consider applying to this program. You will learn a lot. So besides that, there was also the networking opportunities. It was at this point that I felt like I should have moved to Dubai. Like, no, what's that thing they say? Abibi, come to Dubai. I wish I was in Dubai. So WiSER did something that I really loved. They provided a lot of networking opportunities, global networking opportunities. A number of opportunities that they invited WiSER pioneers to, I think was up to 10. So one example, I think, is the World Future Energy Summit. They will just send you an email and be like, oh, we have the spots open. Would you like to attend? If you also want to speak, do let us know that there's slots for you to speak. So it wasn't just a program where, oh, you learn this, you attend workshops, you travel. No, they were actually giving the opportunity for you to shine. They were giving the opportunity for you to learn. They were giving the opportunity for you to interact, network, expand your network of people, particularly with industry experts. And these are not events, at least in my opinion, that I would naturally have access to, right? But WiSER put this on a platter of gold. I was literally saying, go to these events, be a part of it, let people see you, all of those. But I couldn't attend a lot of the events because it was based out of Dubai. So for those that were in Dubai, they had the opportunity to attend. So I wasn't the only one who couldn't attend some of these networking opportunities. I think for women who also lived outside Dubai, in my cohort, they didn't have the opportunity to attend. But regardless, it was still a great program. So I still had the opportunity to network, especially on my trip in Morocco. I had the opportunity to network, obviously, with my cohort. I had the opportunity to network in different spheres. So not going for the networking opportunities in Dubai wasn't a sore spot per se. say. So that was pretty okay. So that was really my experience. And another thing was the mentorship opportunity as well. Towards the 5th or the 6th month of the program, so sometime I think between May and June, you will be you'll be assigned a mentor, and I was assigned a wonderful mentor. Her name is Alison Fleming. So Alison, if you're watching this video, hi. Anyway, so Alison is a bundle of experience. Yes, and something my mentor, or something I find really intriguing about my mentor, is the ability to think outside the box. You know, when you say people think outside the box, my mentor thinks 2 cities outside the box. She's 2 cities away outside the box, right? At the time, I was trying to, build a renewable energy media outfit. So I run a renewable energy media outfit called the Energy Africa. You can check us out on LinkedIn. And Alison came up with amazing ideas, and these were ideas that just were not open to me. These were not ideas I would have thought of, right? And that's what a mentor does for you, right? So even if you don't get to be a part of the WiSER program, consider getting a mentor, particularly in this space. It will be useful for you. All the mistakes that you don't need to make, you have somebody there telling you, oh, this is what you do, this is what you can consider doing, this is what you can do. So you don't have to make all the mistakes, and those mistakes have been made before. Why make them again? But if you have a mentor, you have someone who is guiding, who is supporting, who is, nudging you and say, try this, try that. So the mentorship program was also super amazing for me, particularly with the mentor that I have, and I'm still in touch with her today. So I'm grateful for WiSER for that part of the program. So that's pretty much my experience on the program so far. Not to like the challenges on the program. To be honest, I didn't really have a challenge per se. One thing I would say was it would have been great if, because I missed a lot of the networking programs, and like I said earlier, it's not really a big sore spot, but maybe for future programs it would have been great if we maybe think of or consider providing opportunities for those that are outside Dubai to also attend conferences within the country. So for example, I'm in Nigeria, so it would have been nice if WiSER had also provided some spots for me to go to some conferences, either within Nigeria or maybe next neighboring country, and the same for people that lived outside Dubai. I think that would have been great. I know that may not have been easy to fly people out of Dubai to and fro for several events. That would have been really expensive and not carbon, and all of that. So I felt, or I think that it might be it would be nice if non-Dubai residents also give the opportunity to attend conferences, so that like WiSER is actually the one getting the passes for the cohort members to attend, especially if they live outside Dubai. That was my only challenge per se. Challenges I also faced has nothing to do with WiSER. I had such a stressful visa application process, but as a Nigerian, I think that you get that. If you're Nigerian, say hi in the chat, especially if you've had to apply for visas. It was quite a stressful process. My visa came about 2 days just before I traveled, so that was nerve-wracking, but it's all right. It's all part of the process, and it's fine. So those are my challenges per se. Now, to advise for future applicants, so you who is watching me, who is interested in being a WiSER pioneer, I would say apply. Don't be afraid to apply. When I was going through the application process, it really wasn't difficult. The questions, I don't remember now, but there are not so many essay questions. I'll see if I can find some essay questions, but there were not so many. And I think the responses were limited, so not more than 200 words or something like that. So very short form answers. And so I tried as much as possible to put in a lot of my experience and reasons why I wanted to be part of the WiSER program. I I think there was also a video as well. I'll see if I can share something too. So I did a video about a 1 minute video about why I wanted to be a part of the WiSER program, what I've done in the past, and what I would bring into the WiSER program. So that was really it. So as a future applicant, I would encourage you to please apply. Don't think, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that, except maybe the age requirement, which is between 25 and 35. So if you're below 25, I think they might consider you if you have a lot of experience. If you're above 35, I do not know, but yeah. Please do apply for the program, especially if you're a woman in the renewable energy sector. I got in, and I do hope that you get in when you apply. And don't, even if you don't get into WiSER, consider applying to several other programs as well. You need that opportunity. You need the opportunity to expand your network. You need that, to expose yourself to what's happening in other places, in other regions, and just expand your mind, expand your horizons. So that's the advice I would have for you. So if you enjoyed this video, please try to subscribe. Consider subscribing, sharing my content as well. If there's certain things that you want to learn more about, say if there's any specific thing you want to learn more about, and I know it, I will talk about it. So thank you so much for being a part of this channel. Thank you so much for watching my video, and bye bye until the next time.